What's up everyone, MK Tom Brady here, and in this video I want to talk about something that I think really explains a lot of why MK1 is the way MK1 is. So after this Khaos Reigns expansion released, a lot of people were on Twitter voicing their dissatisfaction about the story, even to the point where they were criticizing the lore guy, whose name is Dominic, over at NRS. So what Ed Boon started doing, and I'm surprised he hasn't done this to me yet, considering I'm considered the quote-unquote face of hate of MK, I guess because I haven't been talking about the story, he started blocking people who are negatively criticizing the story. And this really explains a ton of why MK1 is the way it is. First, let me just say, this was not a free product. You're charging people, what, 50 bucks, 60 bucks, whatever it is for this. And the story is a big part of this. And it is people's right to voice their dissatisfaction for the way you are doing things, including the story. Whenever you're going to charge money for something, people have the right to criticize it. And normally, companies like feedback on how they're doing things so that they can improve. Nope, not NRS. They don't want to hear it. Ed Boon doesn't want to hear it. You're blocked. So this really shows how NRS looks at criticism. You see, MK1 has been under a ton of criticism since it's launched. And it just continuing through Khaos Reigns for whether it's gameplay reasons, story reasons, whatever people paid money for, they are not happy with how the development of the game has been going in many aspects. NRS, Ed Boon, they in their warped minds think people could not possibly be dissatisfied by what they're doing. So these just have to be haters. Like, how arrogant can you be that you do not believe that the criticism of your game is about wanting you to make a better product that you are charging money for, that people are paying money for? No, they believe that these are just mindless haters who should not be listened to. And this is why things don't get any better. The concept of, is this possibly legitimate criticism from fans of the game, fans of the franchise, people who paid their hard-earned money, and maybe we should improve somewhere? Absolutely not. You are blocked, or you should not be listened to because you are a hater. This is why they don't respond much on Twitter. This is why they have comments disabled and a lot of things. They don't want to know your feedback because to them, you are a hater. They only want yes men. This is why your toxic positive content creators, all they can do is yes, 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 and tell you everything is okay and there's nothing wrong, nothing to see here. This is the best game ever created. This is all you can do because anything else, you are then labeled as a hater and you are to be dismissed, fall out of the good graces of NRS, and now you're being blocked. This is not how a company should handle criticism. The purpose of criticism, legitimate criticism, you can tell the difference between hate and people who do it from a place of passion who love the game. You know who these people are, and you can tell. But overall, even some people that are quote-unquote haters, sometimes they make valid points that should be listened to. Just because somebody is a hater doesn't mean everything they say is invalid. And generally, when this many people voice criticism about something, there is probably it's warranted somewhere. And MK1 has been under fire since its release, and now, of course, with Khaos Reigns, the expansion, people are obviously going to voice their dissatisfaction. This is not how you handle criticism. Criticism is there to help you improve your product, and most companies value criticism. NRS does not welcome it. They don't want to hear anything bad. They don't want to hear anything about how you don't like something about the game. All they want to hear is they are gods amongst developers. That this game is the holy grail of fighting games, and anything to the contrary This is why, this is proof right here. They don't want to hear criticism. They don't. They don't think it's legitimate in any way. This is a terrible business model. Now, do not blame Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers does not tell NRS, you better ignore all the criticism. You better not improve anything based on what the criticism of your game is, or else. I don't think anybody at Warner Brothers has given them that executive order. In fact, I'm pretty sure people at Warner Brothers, if they were even aware of half of this stuff, would realize instead of selling 4 million units so far, you probably would have sold 8 to 9 million. But because you are so arrogant and so in your feelings and can't possibly fathom something you created to be to the dissatisfaction, you bought into your own hype, you bought into your own genius. And I'm going to give you some real truth here. The best MK story they ever made in the NRS era was an MK9. That is what really raised the bar, and they've been going down ever since. And all they did in MK9 was retell John Tobias's story. The guy that actually came up with all the lore that made Mortal Kombat so popular. And Ed Boon, since then, NetherRealm, all they've been trying to do was tell another story. That didn't work. Scrap it, and let's reboot it, and scrap it, and reboot it, because they just can't figure out what to do. And the only story that was good was the guy who made it that's not even there anymore. I mean, listen, I know criticism sucks. I know. You have been at the top of the mountain for so long. To start to fall from grace like this, it sucks. But don't blame the quote-unquote haters. Blame yourself. Because they didn't make this mess. Warner Brothers certainly didn't command you to make this mess. This is all on you. And this is why things don't change. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned for more content. Don't get blocked.